retroactively a very, very average one. I meet Jonathan at McGill in the back of Japanese history class. I'm wearing my favorite outfit, an ankle-length brown skirt, my 12-year-old neighbor's oversized green shirt, layered with a man's waistcoat, patterned with wine bottles, because I may not drink, but I'm still cool. So a few minutes after class begins, a boy quietly slips in next to me and whispers, with that slight Ontario twang, "Hey, what did I miss?" I don't even need to turn around to know that I'm gonna fall in love, because he's a boy and he spoke to me. We strike a conversation, and our next class, I bring Jonathan a box of homemade cookies. Class after that, I review his essay. Class after that, I wear a blonde wig to attract his attention. I look good, or so I thought. And then every time we meet, I just bring him a, selection of baked goods, mini pies, other such things. By the end of the semester, I feel really confident that he likes me. So I make my big move, and I invite him for what will definitely be our first date. For him to come and see me play improv at Le Saint-Cyboire on Saint-Denis. Thank you. It's the night of. He's late. I'm nervous. But by the end of first period, I can spot him in the back, smiling and waving. The referee whistles for the break, and I head towards him, beaming with hope and anticipation. I dodged a barmaid, I push someone's side, and I stop. Right there, behind him, lurking in the dark, holding his large hand in her small, dainty one, is a petite, lithe, black, wavy, shiny-haired, gorgeous, smooth-skinned little shit. He has a girlfriend? She pipes up. "Hi, you're so good. I've heard so much about you. I laughed a lot." "Uh-huh." "Oh, I'm angry. I'm so angry. I'm angry at her. I'm angry at him. I'm angry at myself, and I am seeking destruction." Game starts again. As the referee calls out the first improvisation, I throw my fist in the middle of the huddle, daring anyone to suggest themselves. I have something to prove. I start pulling out my best character. I stare at her perfect eyebrows, and I become a telephone operator whose fingers are just too fragile to actually press in on numbers. So why don't you actually just call back, leave a message, and it'll just be simpler that way. I look at her pretty face resting on his clueless shoulder, and the dank, smelly bar becomes a French restaurant where a waiter explains to you that conceptually we serve vegan food, but we add meat as a radical intervention to the vegetable complex. They share a drink as I grab victory for our team, playing a hairdresser who began using her cat hair as material for her homemade wig. Sustainable, organic, you do need some Claritin because they make you sneeze. And that's it. We win. Jonathan and his girlfriend congratulate me and leave, and I go home heartbroken. I stop baking Jonathan cookies. I do not wear the blonde wig anymore. But yes, I do still revise his essays. A year passes. I go to Japan on an exchange. I have my first boyfriend. I have my first breakup. I learn why drinking is fun. I learn why drinking is not fun. And I come back a year later to finish my BA. Few months in, I'm in my Statistics 201 class when guess who slides into my DMs? It's Jonathan, texting me, wants to hear all about my year abroad. Want to come over and tell me about it some evening? The feelings flood back as I answer, of course, I'm free whenever. I turn my attention back to class as the girl 2 rows behind me raises her hand and says something like, Professor, do you mean to say that we've had labs twice a week for the last 2 months, and because I didn't know about them, I didn't go? Professor replies, yes. Well, I'm feeling very generous now that I've reconnected with Jonathan, so I turn around and I say, why don't I lend you my notes? Girl says, oh my God, would you? Thank you. Do you like food? My mom's a great cook and she made me lunch. Do you want to share my lunch? And I'm hungry, so we do. Her name's Roxane. She's full of energy. She's very bad with schedules. And I really, really like talking to her about boys since she's always full of advice, which is great because turns out Jonathan's kind of a dick. He always waits exactly 3 hours to answer my texts. He usually waits at the very last minute to cancel plans, and he never wants to hold my hand in public. It's like he's just looking for sex. I'm telling Roxane all of this as we're standing by the computers at the McGill Library. We're gonna look at his Facebook profile and analyze every single one of his status updates for information. As one does. I am having trouble finding him though, and I say, wait. I think he might be under the name Jake, because that's his nickname. I hear a gasp. I turn around. Roxane is looking at me. And and I realized I am looking at a petite, dainty, black, wavy, shiny-haired, gorgeous, smooth-skinned little shit! You're that girl he brought to improv. You're that girl I saw at improv. I knew you had a crush on him. Of course I had a crush on him. I baked him cookies 7 weeks in a row. Who does that? There's a silence. Did I break some kind of girl code? Nah, he's super weird. We broke up ages ago. You go for that. I did. A few months later, Roxane and I are in the metro together because it turns out she's the best. She's the most social, bubbly, caring person I know. She was there for me when I unsurprisingly got ghosted by super weird Jonathan. And she brings me places I'd never otherwise go, like this rave we're headed to. We're 2 stops away from our destination at Montreal when the metro doors open. And in walks Jonathan. He sees us. He freezes and then slowly backs away onto the platform. And as the metro speeds away, Roxane turns around and we keep talking about everything but the boy this story starts with. Shout out to Roxane over there.